Dr. Nisha Verma is a board-certified obstetrician-gynecologist and complex family planning subspecialist. She currently serves as Senior Advisor for Reproductive Health Policy and Advocacy at ACOG. She is Adjunct Assistant Professor at Emory University School of Medicine and provides clinical care in Georgia and Maryland. In a Senate hearing on the use of chemical abortion drugs, Senator Josh Hawley and Ashley Moody asked her, a total of 12 times, "Can men get pregnant?" Her response,
Moody a moment ago, do you think that men can get pregnant?
I hesitated there because I wasn't sure where the conversation was going or what the goal was. I mean, I do take care of patients with different identities. I take care of many women. I take care of people with different identities. And so that's where I paused. I think, I wasn't sure where you were going with that.
Well, the goal is the truth. So can men get pregnant?
Again, the reason I paused there is I'm not really sure what the goal of the question
The goal is just to establish a biological reality. You just said a moment ago that science and evidence should control, not politics. So let's just test that proposition. Can men get pregnant?
I take care of people with many identities, but
Can men get pregnant?
many women that can get pregnant. I do take care of people that don't identify as women. That
Can men get pregnant?
again, as I'm saying,
Let me.
During the oral arguments of a Supreme Court hearing on transgender athletes in women's sports, Justice Samuel Alito asked Kathleen R. Harnett, lawyer for the ACLU, "What does it mean to be a man or woman?" Her response,
If it does that, then is it not necessary for there to be, for equal protection purposes, if that is challenged under the Equal Protection Clause, an understanding of what it means to be a boy or a girl or a man or a woman?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is that definition? For equal protection purposes, what does it mean to be a boy or a girl or a man or a woman?
Sorry, I misunderstood your question. I think that the underlying enactment, whatever it was, the policy, the law, we'd have to have an understanding of how the state or the government was just understanding that term to figure out whether or not someone was excluded. We do not have a definition for the court. And we don't take issue with we're not disputing the definition here. What we're saying is that the way it applies in practice is to exclude birth sex males categorically from women's teams, and that there's a subset of those birth sex males where it doesn't make sense to do so according to the state's own interest.
Well,
it is 2026. We have supercomputers in our pockets, cars that drive themselves, organs being printed in labs, and somehow, we are pretending not to know the difference between male and female, men and women. Let that sink in. This isn't a medieval village arguing over whether the sun revolves around the earth. This is the 21st century, where biology has been mapped down to chromosomes, hormones, gametes, skeletal structures, and reproductive function. And yet, here we are, watching grown adults, not teenagers, not confused kids, but fully credentialed professionals, look into a camera and act like this is some unknowable cosmic mystery, especially in the medical field. Doctors, nurses, researchers, people whose entire job is based on biological reality, and we're supposed to believe they're just confused? There are only two possibilities here, and neither one is flattering. Option 1, they genuinely don't know the difference. In which case, that's not progress. That's intellectual malpractice. If you cannot define male and female, you have no business diagnosing, prescribing, or treating anyone. Biology isn't a vibe. It isn't self-expression. It's measurable, observable, repeatable fact. These people vote, teach, write policy, and shape culture. If that's the case, then we are dealing with a level of intellectual rot that should set off every alarm bell we have. Option 2, and let's be honest, this is the real one. They do know. Of course they do. But saying it out loud would violate left-wing ideological orthodoxy. And in today's climate, truth is negotiable, but disobedience is not. Say the wrong thing and you're labeled, shamed, dogpiled, or professionally erased. So instead, adults choose silence, or worse, deliberate nonsense. This is how insanity becomes normalized, not because lies are persuasive, but because cowardice is contagious. That's not science, that's religion with lab coats. And let's be clear, acknowledging biological sex does not mean hating anyone. It doesn't erase compassion, dignity, or civil rights. But pretending objective reality is subjective, especially in healthcare, is reckless. It puts patients at risk. It erodes trust. It turns experts into activists and facts into landmines. We didn't advance as a civilization by denying reality to protect feelings. We advanced by facing reality, even when it was uncomfortable. And the absolute insanity is this. In the most technologically advanced era in human history, we are watching adults, educated adults, debate something every mammal on Earth understands instinctively. That's not enlightenment. That's regression.